This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, welcome to the July 8th meeting of the City of Binghamton Traffic Board here in the second floor atrium, City Hall. Before we get into the agenda here, we have some members of the public. If you'd like to come up and address the board, feel free to do so at the microphone here. And after public comment, we can get into the agenda.
Good morning. My name is Vince Curcio. I reside at 4 Allendale Road. I own Curcio's Welding and Mechanical Service. I own property on the south side, and I rent. Why I'm here? To have handicap signs removed from in front of our house. The gentleman that lives upstairs has access to his apartment around the back of the house. The front door at 4 Allendale Road is access to the first floor apartment. That's our apartment. He had the signs put up because he couldn't get in and out of the driveway for some unknown reason. He has a 2-car garage behind the house. He has 2 cars and a motorcycle. He has parking for 4 vehicles behind the house. He has never once parked in the street. Never once. He hunts, he fishes, he skis religiously every day in the winter. I just bought a brand new truck, and to have it parked around the corner where I can't see it instead of being able to park it in front of our house. Not to mention, in the winter time, with the alternate street parking is really affect us hard. So we're looking to have the signs removed. I know it's a very sore subject for a lot of the neighbors in the neighborhood. It was me that filled out the paper here today. I need to ask to have those signs removed.
Thank you. We will bring that up at further on in the agenda.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Dan, we'll do that later on the agenda. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Next speaker, please.
I had some paper to hand out. I'm not sure if we have all the information.
Apologize for kind of the different meeting setup. We're supposed to be in city council chambers, so normally we're just around a conference table. Introduce yourself and
Yes, my name is Shane Woolett. I own a property on 239 Robinson Street, and I am asking to have my driveway moved from right-hand side to the left-hand side. The problem is it's only 8 feet wide, and I can't get some of my bigger trailers back there. What had happened, I bought the house from the county auction years ago, and it became a money pit. I'm still working on it. This year, we're in a little bit of a financial situation where we can make some progress, but it's hard to get in and out of the driveway. The owner of the property next door, when the gentleman lost his property to the taxes, he removed his fence and flopped a little blacktop on my side and began to use it, which I was fine for a little while because they were helping snow removal. But then when the tenant left, that all came to a cease, and then they started parking in the driveway. There's a detailed message in there. That's not the problem. The problem is my access and drainage. His property is above mine, and it creates a ice jam down to the sidewalk. So by grading that side, making it green space, and moving my driveway to the other side, it gives me a wider area to get in and out of my property. And also, it'll solve the water issue.
okay. So you would propose removing, still only having one curb
apron,
cut,
that's all we need.
one apron, but just shifting from the
And I
right
was
side to
told
the
we
left
needed,
side.
1,867 square feet of non-structural pavement, and we have, by looking at this, there's like 3,000. So,
Okay.
And it'll also save the drainage problem between the two houses, because right now his house is 99% covered in his backyard, so everything goes to my side.
Okay.
By putting that green space in, it'll absorb that water.
So from a traffic board perspective, this is the first point of contact we've had with the city on the project.
Yes, I
Okay.
understand. Because I spoke with somebody in the engineer department, and
Okay.
they said to wait until they're redoing the street up there. So it will be more effective to do it while they're doing the demolition than to try to do it after the fact and have to cut up,
Sure.
and ruin a brand new street.
Sure. So typically from the traffic board perspective, when somebody wants to shift it, as long as they're just having one curb cut, historically, we haven't had any issue with that. But given the installation of a new driveway, some new impervious pavement, that will likely require just a planning review. And as you mentioned, we're doing the project on Robinson Street to just have that coordinated. So the next step for this is we'll coordinate this review with the planning department. I don't foresee any issues from a traffic board perspective. We'll have to do a site visit with the BPD just to make sure that lines of sight, we're not creating anything dangerous on the street, as well as amend any of the parking on the street if there's, driveway creates a new area where there needs to be no parking. But historically speaking, shifting, as long as you're only having one curb cut, that becomes a new
They're going
curb.
to essentially eliminate one and then just make a new one.
And continuation of the sidewalk as well. It seems to be, we've approved those frequently in the past.
I had, when I purchased the property, the first thing I did was tore out the old sidewalks out, put new in, and I actually put in the new the apron and everything.
So what we'll do is we'll keep this on our agenda for the next meeting. In the interim, we'll connect you with the planning department at the city to see if there's any approvals that need to happen there, or if that can happen in-house. And as you mentioned too, to coordinate with the engineering department on whatever happens, Ron, with the Robinson Street reconstruction project. Last thing you want to do is put in something new and then have heavy machinery come in, right? So
that was the whole, I'm not sure if I spoke with you on the phone or one of the people in your department. I think it was, who's Franco? Yes, I spoke with him a little bit on last week when I submitted all this paperwork, and he said he did not foresee any problems as long as
sure
the traffic board approved it.
Yep. So what we'll do is we will keep this on the agenda for probably final approval at the next meeting, and then in the interim, coordinate you with the planning department. Tito Martinez in the planning department on the 4th floor of City Hall is the contact. You could head up there, right now after the meeting, if you want to stick around and watch the rest of it, or you can go up there right now and just bring them this stuff and see if anything.
He's the one I think that told me about the green space I had to keep.
Yes.
That's why we made the sheet showing that we have at least all the green space required.
Yep. So assuming that planning gives us a once over and it checks out, they may have an approval process, may not need any sort of extra approval process. We'll be able to do a final approval for actually the curb cut changing at the next meeting, and you should be all set.
I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, because they're already milling the street on the one side. Thank you, John.
Okay, we'll get into our agenda for the meeting. 116 Glenwood Avenue. This is the 15-minute parking zone request.
116 Glenwood, we got an IDC from Geo through you making a request to install some 15-minute parking. We've been reviewing it with going back and forth with Geo over the phone. We met with him in person, the MTS traffic division, as well as myself. And apparently the request was not to Geo, was from another person to Geo that's a friend of the liquor store. But in looking at it originally, we thought that it was probably not going to work. And we went up to a DMPS and we reviewed it, and it appeared that maybe we could do it. But then meeting with the council person up there in that area, he thought that he met with the residents in that area, and their residents are against putting the 15-minute zones in front of their house where we could put it. And so the final thing is that he's going to meet with the residents up there again and look at the property, look at the situation. And he's probably going to suggest that we not do anything, let it go move, because the fact is that the liquor store never made a request for this, and they have no involvement, never talked to the council person. So based on everything, it's right now it's the friend of the liquor store that made the request, and so and this also appears to be parking on the other side of the street that could be used on the west side of the street. So we want to hold it over to the next meeting to finalize everything. So,
Okay, we will hold that until August. All right, 1 Florence Street, handicap zone parking request.
okay, again, we received a request from a constituent, from a resident over on 1 Florence Street. She sent a letter to your office making a request for the handicap zone. The letter is from her doctor saying that that he preferred that she has some kind of handicap park in front of that location. There is off-street parking on the property. It's a driveway, the stone driveway. However, she walks with a cane, and the other thing is that the driveway, because of people on the first floor already have lived there longer, they have access to the driveway. They have seniority rights to the driveway. So the landlord gave it to them, and so the woman has to park in the street. And their doctor says that she shouldn't walk a great distance, carrying groceries and stuff like that, as well as just walking is not really good for her. So we measured out, after talking with her, we thought maybe that we could help her out. We told her, though, that the space is not reserved just for her, that she must comply with the 6-hour regulations when she does use it, and that she has to display her handicap placard. Well, she does have a handicap placard. And so we're recommending that we insert a handicap parking zone in front of her house for a distance of 22 feet, which would be 135 feet north of Main Street to 157 feet north.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve? Mark makes a motion. Ron second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next on the agenda, just a review of the Belden Street detour. Just kind of was this more of a discussion point. I've driven through there. It's obviously high traffic, but having those no parking signs as you turn off of Tompkins is critical. I think I don't know if anyone else has noticed anything or there's anything specific you'd want to bring up.
Yeah, we reviewed it as well. We went up there and the no parking, temporary no parking zones are working well. The temporary traffic lights working well. The only area that seems to be of a concern is Conklin Ave at what's that street there? Home, thank you. Yeah, as you're coming on to onto Home, at the evening hours when the traffic is heavy, it gets backed up there. And as of this time, you don't want to put a traffic like that, I don't believe, because it's such a short distance. I don't know if there's anything we can do. Trailer traffic that moves down through there, making that turn, as it gets congested as well. That's the only problem area that seems to be
Okay.
Where there's a problem.
So just want to continue to work with the contractor, keep monitoring the situation with traffic division?
Yeah, I guess because it's a short-term thing, it's only going to be probably only a month left before they're done. That probably we're going to have to just put up with what's going on. But other than that, everything else seems to be flowing pretty good.
All right. What I think we should do is remove this from the future agendas. I think this can be handled, administratively between traffic division and the contractor and engineering. If you need anything on a temporary basis, we can handle that. Good. Belden? Mhm. Okay. So we'll move that from the agenda. Good work by everyone. The next two were from BMTS. Cindy's not here today, but Dan, are you familiar with these?
This is actually brought up at the previous traffic board meeting. We have a stop sign at the intersection of Pennsylvania Ave at Cross Street. And what we have is a pedestrian crossing sign on the same pole as the stop sign. And according to the BMTS rules and the New York State Manual of Traffic Control Devices, you're not supposed to have the anything on the stop sign except for the stop sign, and or if it's a all way or two way or whatever the type of stop it is. So what we want to do is we want to put a separate pole in there with the crossing emblem on it with the word ahead, because the crossing is actually on the north side of the intersection, and the sign would be on the south side of the intersection. And I'll pass this down so everybody can see what I'm talking about. And then pretty much on the same side, same situation, but going southbound, put a handicap crossing warning sign going for the southbound traffic. But
So that sounds like something that could just be figured out between
Yeah.
Public Works and
Right.
Traffic Division.
right,
Okay.
but it was brought up before and it wasn't done, so we just want to make sure we get it done this time. So we just wanted to put it in the minutes, just
All right.
make sure it's reflected in the minutes.
Mark will get on there.
You can just take that picture, and we don't need yeah, one northbound, one southbound. The northbound one going in advance of the stop sign, so as you're coming down, probably about 10 or 15 feet in front of the stop sign. And you should have the word ahead, because as you see in the picture there, crosswalk is actually on the north side of the intersection, the stop sign will be on the south side of the intersection. And then on the other side, it's just we just need the sign. And then there's a no parking anytime sign over there. It can go on the same pole as the no parking anytime sign. Yeah, yeah. The warning sign and the no parking anytime sign could be on the same pole.
All right. So we'll figure that out with the DPW and Traffic Division. Bayless and Park, line of sight issue again from BMTS.
Yes. Cindy Paddock, it's at the, I don't know if everybody got it because of the outage there on the accident on Grand Boulevard last night where the tree was down over the roadway. May have affected my computer, but basically what it is, Cindy was traveling eastbound on Bayless Ave coming onto Park Ave, and she looked to the left and she couldn't see any traffic coming because her line of sight was obstructed. And previously we moved the no parking sign from a short distance, it was like 30 feet to 45 feet to make it more visible. And with all the cars that were lined up there the day that we went up there, BMTS, myself, and the Traffic Division, there's like 6 or 7 cars lined up there. I don't know if it's because of the Morgan Road repaving project or whatever, but you couldn't see traffic coming up the road. It's a slight grade downward there that probably contributes to the obstruction. But basically, what we want to do is extend the no parking zone from the present 45 feet and amend the traffic code to reach 144 feet north of Bayless Ave on the west side of the street. Now,
Up Park Ave, it's on the right-hand side of
that's
the road.
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, we haven't ran it past the councilman up there in that district yet. I don't know if it's a safety issue. We don't have to because it's a safety issue.
Mhm.
But I don't know if we want to make them aware of it before we do it, so in case he gets any constituents
Okay.
concerns before we pass it, or if we just want to pass it.
Well, I think if BMTS recommended it as a safety thing, I think we should move forward with it and, you know, certainly alert the council person in that area.
It would be north of Bayless Ave. As you're coming out from Bayless Ave, it would be north of Bayless Ave on the west side of the street. So she's looking up towards, you know, going towards the hospital.
And you have an IDC for that, Dan?
Yeah.
Okay.
We mailed it out yesterday. It should be on the computer.
Okay. So you just read where again, so we know what we're making a motion on in terms of the changes.
So what the motion is going to be, amend the section 23, no parking in any time zone on Park Ave, west side of the street. Amend it from Bayless Ave to 45 feet north to read from Bayless Ave to 144 feet north.
Okay. Do we have a motion? Mark makes a motion. Do we have a second? Ron makes a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right. The Pine Street no parking zone review, I think that's on hold pending some movement with the fire station development, and we'll find a time to meet with the acting fire chief and make sure that we're going to support the project as needed.
Yeah, we did meet with the former fire chief that just retired, and he gave us all the measurements. We have all the measurements that we need. It's just that we had to put it down on paper, but we don't want to put it down too early because without the fire station being there, it's going to be more of a harassment.
Sure.
So we just want to hold it.
Yeah, we'll keep that on the agenda pending construction.
Yep.
The North Street walking tour, I think, does Cindy have that scheduled?
Yeah, that's going to be scheduled for August. I'm not sure which day in August, but they're going to be doing it in August. And
okay.
As soon as we complete that, then we'll give a report on that.
Okay. Mark, this was one of your requests, Leroy at St. John, some of the no parking cutbacks. Okay. So we'll keep that on as holding. All right. I want to address something that one of the folks brought up on Allendale Road on the handicap sign. I know that, I don't know if we have any more information about that. I know that traffic division took a trip out and did talk to the person, but you're not the only resident that I've heard from on that street, and we appear to be getting the same information. And I worry that we may have granted the handicap sign with maybe incomplete information about the situation with parking with the resident. So I'm not sure, has anyone reached out in the last couple weeks on this, or do we need to do another kind of official site visit?
Yeah, I think that we should actually go back there and revisit the location. The information that we got at the time seems to be different from what we're getting now. So
yeah,
I think it should be readdressed and looked at, and make sure that it does comply.
Sure. Sir, does that work for you if we? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So what we'll do is we will have a BPD, visit the site again, verify a lot of the information that we've got, and again, I apologize if the city, we were looking to always support folks that have these type of requests, and typically we do a site review, but we may have gotten information in error or incomplete. So we will work on it, and if feel free to share with the other neighbors that in the area that we're aware of the situation, and hopefully we'll bring it to a resolution here in the next couple of weeks. Okay, thank you very much. Did anyone have any other add-ons? Oh, yep, hold on a second.
Just a couple of things in the traffic board, or traffic code book. There's a few errors. I think what's been happening was a couple things. Either A, the information that when we pass to the traffic board, it's going to get into the traffic code book. We're finding stuff that we passed that's not in the traffic code book, or it's getting in a way that it's not correct. For example, when I was going through the Florence Ave to situation. Correction, Florence Street thing. I ran across Florence Ave on the west side from Weston Ave to Main Street, being a no parking zone. Well, it's not Florence Ave up there, it's Laurel Ave. So they got that wrong, so that's got to be corrected. And then Florence Street, they have a traffic code for the no parking zones that exist up there. That's Florence Ave instead of Florence Street. So but there's a lot of mistakes we keep finding that really somebody should probably go through there and review some.
And some that may be decades old, right?
Yeah.
Or corrections. So no, I'm with you on that, and we're in discussions with the clerk's office regarding that. What's the best way for sort of a comprehensive review of all that stuff?
Okay.
All right. Nothing else from the board. I know some you folks came in a little late. If you wanted to step up to the microphone and address the traffic board.
Yeah, we got a little bit of problem here. We got parking people, new guys out there. I spoke to him briefly this morning. I tried to talk to him over the phone, kept the conversation very short. So now here I am. I'm here because we got people out there giving parking tickets to people that don't understand what the word parking, no standing, and the definition of it. If you like to tell me, I can tell you. I'm telling you, there's unlawful tickets out there, and people don't understand what it means to be unlawful. Unlawful means that you're given a ticket that are not in your category. So say, for example, I can give speeding ticket if somebody's speeding. I can give a lawful ticket to someone that breaks the law. Now I'm going to ask you, yesterday I was given a standing ticket yesterday to simply pick up an order. I'm in my vehicle, the car started, my right turn signal was on yesterday. The individual went in there to pick up the food, order wasn't ready. That's the owner of the business over here, comes back in. I'm still in my vehicle. Parking meter guy comes in, jams his vehicle in front of my vehicle, tries to block me in. So I'm like, scream out the window, hey, what the hell are you doing? What are you, the SWAT team? You know, talk to me nicely. I'm a nice civil person here. So what I'm trying to tell you is we got a couple individuals that are taking the law into their own hands, and it's going to get to the point where this whole Black Lives Matter ended up to. It's going to cause major problems here. Before it gets that big, we need to address this issue and not let these parking meters have the law in their hands. Yesterday, I was given an unlawful ticket. Would you like me to explain to you what I tried to explain to you over the phone, why it's unlawful? Or can you explain to me why it's unlawful for that? Why that whole ticket was unlawful? Because he didn't understand, and he's head of the department. So I'm a little, lost on why he doesn't understand what a ticket is for it to be unlawful and what makes it lawful. There's rules that are to what no standing is. There's rules to what no parking is. All these have different things here. Now I can send you the information right here what the law states, or can you tell me what it is? Since you're head of the department, you should know where I was standing was a no standing zone. Can you tell me what makes the difference between a no standing and a no parking?
So a couple things. So I'm the chairman of the traffic board. I'm not
You're
in
Mr.
charge.
Patrician, right?
No,
Okay,
my name
who's
is
that?
Jared Cran.
Okay.
Dave Patrician is a sergeant. He's
I tried to talk to him.
head of the traffic
The
division.
reason why I'm, a
Sure.
little frustrated here because I'm getting nowhere. I tried to talk to the supervisor, didn't get anywhere here, and it's like this has been going on for a little bit here. I have an appointment with the mayor, trying to see who and how we can handle this issue before it continues to get out of hand, and it's not going in the right direction. So
Okay. So in terms of if you feel that you were issued a ticket improperly.
no, unlawful. You see, there's a difference between improper and unlawful. Improper parking and unlawful parking. There's a difference here.
So what I'm saying is that if you would like to appeal,
Then I got to go to court.
not necessarily, there is an appeal process prior to.
It should
court
never even get
process.
there if the individual did his job right. Do you see what I'm saying here? It's like me going to pay my taxes and every time I'm charged too much and I got to come back for the refund. It shouldn't get to that. These are very clear-cut rules and laws out here that shouldn't be confused. It's all in writing, and these are like 1-2 steps for a parking meter guy. He should know these off the back of his head. And if he doesn't know that, then we need to educate these individuals to the point where they do. We shouldn't have these confrontations.
Sure. So in the specific example of whether it's any type of parking ticket that was issued, there's an appeal process, and these specific items that you're talking about can be addressed through that process. Nate, I'm not sure if you can speak
You're-
to what the next steps would be if someone would like to appeal a parking ticket. Make sure your mic's on there.
You can either go online and start the appeal that way, or there's a
I
form
don't, I think we're
downstairs
missing
that
the
you
whole
can fill
thing.
out and mail in or drop off.
Is this going over everybody's head? The problem is the people handing out tickets are not educated on the law, on the job that they're supposed to do here. So
Sure.
you're telling me on how to handle a ticket. I don't care. I'll pay the $10, $20 ticket. You know, that's not the problem here. The problem is we're not fixing the issue at hand.
And I think that what your question is you're saying that a ticket was issued either
Unlawfully.
unlawfully.
Yes.
Okay. There needs to be some facts found out about that, whether it was or it was not.
Okay.
And that is done through the appeal process that Officer Miller just described. And I'm sure he will be happy to provide you with the documentation to start that process.
Okay.
Once that process is found out, and if
Mhm.
we find out that, hey, this was a
It's been
ticket that
going
was,
on.
let me finish. This was a ticket that was issued improperly,
Mhm.
then we can, or unlawfully, we can take a look at why that happened
Right.
and educate people or train people as needed. But
Right.
we need to start with that first step to determine what parking violation did or did not happen.
Mhm.
And then as a board that makes policy, we can take a look at
Okay.
what the next steps are.
All right. So just I'll leave it just so we all understand here. A no standing, okay? It's there. It's a temporary stop to receive or discharge passenger while stopping is merely bringing to a stopped vehicle. So you can stop there. What I was doing to pick up food, get in my vehicle and be on my way. Okay. That driver cannot leave the vehicle. My seatbelt didn't come off. My turn signal is off. I see the parking meter guy coming up. Okay. This is a scenario that's been going on for a couple of weeks now. The owner of the building here, it's affecting his business. Okay. I talked to the supervisor, Patricia. The words that came out of his mouth this morning is I specifically told them to target Marion's Mark Corner. These are not, because the thing is they go right around the loop, right around Dio's, Colonial, and that whole block there. They go right around them. They go all the way down to the Civic Association Center here, okay? And then hand out tickets there. I see the car right in front of me, unlawfully parked. I said, listen, I see you doing this all the time. We've observed it. We have it on recording. We have it on camera, and it continues to do this. You know, I got a picture here too. This is, you know, of our local code enforcement, unlawfully parking. I'm pretty sure every single one of you guys, if you guys enter through the front of this, you guys have passed this vehicle here. How they park there. Let me show you. They park there.
And sir, I'll just tell you that
No parking anytime
this
at a
board
corner.
is not the entity that would render a decision.
I'm bringing up
regarding
an issue
parking
here.
tickets.
Maybe in the future, if other people see this issue here, they'll cross your mind and say, oh, okay, you know, these are at hand here. I'll try to meet up with the mayor and continue, but I like to bring it up to here.
Yes.
We
and-
don't
and
like to be targeted.
I
Nobody
appreciate you
likes,
doing
and it's
that.
her affecting the business.
And Officer Miller will assist you in starting the appeal process, which will help you potentially get relief in the situation.
A relief, what does that mean? Can you explain on that? Expand
Relief
on
in
that?
the sense of that if you were unlawfully issued a parking ticket or improperly issued a parking ticket,
Right.
that is the process that you can appeal. And
Okay.
and if something was done wrong,
Right.
that ticket can be.
And is this something you guys can talk to the supervisor and explain to him how a simple pickup, a delivery for an Uber pickup is not unlawfully parked?
That's what started that process is with the traffic division and that appeals process. Once we
Okay.
find out exactly what happened, then we can
Right.
take a look at
And
everything.
if they're doing it to us, do it to the people right next to us. Let's have some equality here. Let's not target, as Mr., you know, Supervisor Patrician said,
Understood.
unfair, unlawful, illegal.
Thank you very
It's
much.
discriminating too, in a sense.
Any other items for the agenda from the board? All right, I'll take it. Ron Lake makes a motion to adjourn. Mark, do we second? Mark, all in favor? Aye. Thank you.